Sometimes if I get stressed socially, I come up with like really weird things, which I suppose is better than saying nothing. Yeah. Anyways. Cue a cool intro. This is my first ever vlog. Cringe. Hello to my mother, who will be the only person probably watching this. I've done one of these before. I've also not watched vlogs, so I don't really know what the format's supposed to be, but from how I understand, you're just supposed to basically film yourself and be completely self-obsessed. So let's give it a go and see how we get on. So it's lunchtime, I've come home from work, and this afternoon I'm on my lunch break. This afternoon I have 2 events that I can't decide between. So it's Stockholm Fashion Week in Stockholm, surprise. And they have loads of cool like runway shows, which a friend actually sent me because she is going to it. And I kind of thought it'd be cool to go to that. I've like never been to a fashion show. Those fashion shows can maybe be lost on me because like when people are walking down wearing like bin bags, I just don't really get it. But with that said, I think they look really cool and fun and I can like appreciate it. So one option is to go to this runway walk thing. The other event that I'm interested in going to is with this woman who I really want to meet because she is a big time and has a cool job and works at a cool company. That's why I'm tempted to go and just see if she's there. Then I'm not really sure what my game plan is, but I guess to try and talk to her. I don't know if that's a little bit ridiculous, but sometimes you gotta do crazy shit to get what you want, right? Wish me luck. I went to the event and it ended up being very strange. Of 1 to strange, it was really strange. Because basically I went to the event, got there, of course I wasn't on the guest list because it was like some exclusive event. Snuck in, there was some confusion with the Swedish, which allowed me to kind of just make my way in through the back. Then got to the top and I was with a group of like 20 people and they only let me through because I was the only one with the wristband because I'd like snuck in to get the wristband. It then basically ended up being like a group of, I would say maximum 30 people on this rooftop. Yesterday, I went to this event called Superhuman, which was what my kind of partner company was organising in Stockholm. It was basically like this longevity event with Brian Johnson. I went clubbing with Brian Johnson, see here, which was kind of weird. Brian Johnson was like really nice, actually, and surprisingly normal. But then I was in the nightclub with him and he was like, should I take my top off? Like, this was just such a weird week. This week was so weird. On Thursday, I was at a theme park and throwing bean bags at tin cans, and I looked to my left and I was against Malala, like the Malala. And then 2 days later, I was in a nightclub talking to Brian Johnson, who was telling me, should I take my shirt off? And I was like, yeah, do it. He was like, okay. And then he took his shirt off and I was like, this is weird. I'm kind of tired. Swedish weather. I hate you. This is not what I signed up for. I'm currently going to Tekniska Museum, which I've definitely said wrong. I'm going there to film a collaboration. This is my first paid collab, and I just find it crazy that someone actually wants to pay me to go and make a video. Thank goodness I bought my poncho, Northvolt poncho. Northvolt's the company I used to work for, it's now gone bankrupt. So what I'm hoping is that this merch is going to be worth a fortune, and actually no, that doesn't work like that. I strongly believe that if Sweden was sunny all year round, then this country would just be like the most productive and like best place on earth. So it's such a shame that it's not. Like people who have sun, people who live in countries that have sun until like 7 p.m, 8 p.m, like Barcelona. I know that's a city, but whatever. You must just be so productive. It has been shite weather the whole day, and now the sun is shining. And I'm completely overly dressed. I'm wearing a jacket and it's like not jacket weather. Swedish weather is very confusing. Anyway, I'm like 20 minutes. My literally like 25 minutes late to a dinner with my boyfriend, which is really not okay. But he's always late, and I was just, oh, Jesus, look. Little gathering over there. I just couldn't find anything I like to wear, and I hate my outfit. I felt like a freak. Sounds like a good party. Oh, I love Sweden. Sweden, Sweden, Sweden. Lovely little lunch, and I'm now going back home to do a little bit of work, and then I need to go for a run. I don't need to go for a run, then I'm going to go for a run and hug a park and a swim. Can't wait. Guten Morgen! Slept with wet hair last night, which I never do because my mum always told me that that's how you catch a cold. But this is kind of a vibe. When I was younger, I always wanted to crimp my hair. And then I remember I bought one of those crimp machines and I looked like a freak, and I was just so disappointed. I'm trying to do my makeup whilst talking to the camera, and I've like never done that before. And I just feel like I'm not very good at it. But I kind of just do, my makeup is always a bit all over the place, to be honest with you. I can tell for the 2 people watching this, you're going to be like insulted that this is the way that I do my makeup. I've just never been one of those people that watch YouTube videos about how to do makeup, but maybe I should invest some time. So I feel like I've only just recovered from spending the weekend last week with Brian Johnson, Malala and Princess Beatrice, which wasn't a standard weekend for Sophie Rogers, let me tell you. I'm going to Copenhagen tomorrow to run the half marathon, which I'm very, very excited about. Kind of petrified because I haven't been training, and when we booked the tickets like a year and a half ago, I told myself that I was going to run this in like a PB and I was gonna be training all year, and lo and behold, I actually haven't run in a while because I got a knee injury. I don't know why anyone would care about this, but yeah, in case anyone cares about Sophie Rogers' knee situations. So that will be fun. I'm going there Friday until Tuesday. The original plan was that I wanted to actually stay there for like 2 weeks because I love Copenhagen, and I just thought it would be fun with my boyfriend to rent an apartment there and kind of feel like we were living in the city. Also just to see like, what is it like to live in another city? Because we've become so used to being in Stockholm, and I kind of want to move to another city for a little bit is my vibe. I love Stockholm and I want to raise kids, blah, 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 in the future here. But I just think it could be fun for a little bit to go somewhere else. But then again, I'm like, why would I go to Copenhagen? Because for me, it's just like the bad version of Stockholm because I don't know anybody. Like the weather's the same, the culture's the same. And apparently it's even harder to get to know Danish people than it is Swedes. And it's taken me like 4 years to hack into the Swedish system. So I don't know if I want to expose myself to that. Anyway, we had this genius plan that we were going to rent this apartment for a couple of weeks, and a really good friend of mine put it on an Instagram story, and we were renting one of her colleagues, or we were supposed to be renting one of her colleagues. You can see me in the mirror, lol. We were supposed to be renting her colleague's apartment, and we were going to do an apartment swap. I knew it was too good to be true. Like, I knew it. I thought, oh my God, 2 weeks. Their apartment looked amazing in the center of Copenhagen. It was really big. It was like 80 square meters. We never talk about square meters, by the way, in England, but it's like the go-to thing in Sweden, which kind of makes sense. My boyfriend is always like, but how do you know what the size of the apartment is in England? And I'm like, well, we just do it by bedrooms. Like, we just say it's like a 4-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom. And he's like, what? But in Germany and Sweden, we always say it's a square meters. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, I knew it was going to happen. They've cancelled on us like 2 weeks ago. Nice. They cancelled on us like 2 weeks ago. So now we don't have anywhere to stay, and we're going tomorrow, and we still haven't booked where we're living. To Stockholm, and then what's going on? Oh, then we're going to Midsummer. So it's bloody hectic. Sorry, I come back from Copenhagen on Tuesday, and then I have one day of work on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I'm going up to Sundsvall to my very good friend Disa, to her, I don't know who's, I just found this in the back of my toilet. It's either Louise's or Verona. It doesn't even work, so it needs sharpening. So then we go up for midsummer, which is really fun. It's like literally the highlight of the year. Swedes prefer midsummer to Christmas. Me luck for the marathon. The next time I'll be talking on this, I would have run my half marathon, hopefully with no problems.